Welcome to MMA Podcast. My name's Luke, and I am joined by a friend of mine and a friend of the show, and a great reference to a World War II legend. So put your hands together for Justin, the General Patton. Justin, welcome to the
What's
show.
up? What's up? How you doing?
At this point, hopefully people know who you are just by me getting excited about the World War II reference. I also forgot to say that your best friend, Buddy, the dog, might be joining the show from time to time. So if
Yeah.
anyone sees Buddy, that's Buddy. And I once introduced you on the show as Welcome to Buddy the dog and his friend Justin. And I plan on doing that tonight. But then I got so excited about your nickname, the General, that I threw that out the window. So I apologize. In the past, you have had some great merch. I remember a shirt that had a great depiction of the General. Do you have any merch for this fight that's coming up?
We haven't designed any yet, but I'm sure in the next couple weeks we'll think of some ideas or something. I try to bring
Perfect.
like a new one out for like what time of year it is, you know what I mean? So what is it like in April? St. Patrick's Day, maybe?
I
Or like
guess.
some
I mean,
maybe
St.
something maybe
Patrick's.
something for maybe something 420? Nah.
Yeah, yeah. You got a lot of options. You got a lot of options.
Right. So we'll
You
see.
could, yeah, yeah, absolutely. But we're talking. You're on the show, and we're talking about your upcoming fight, which is going to be incredible. Co-main event of the night, and it's for Brawl in the Burgh, 16, April 15th. I'm very clear on that because I could switch the two. So it's Brawl in the Burgh number 16 on April 15th, which is a Saturday. It's actually the Saturday after Easter, and it's going to be at the Meadows Casino. Um, well, Hollywood Casino at the Meadows. So kind of talk about how you feel. You had an incredible run last year. We did the award show. We talked a lot about you on the award show because you had an incredible pro run last year. So kind of give the viewers a quick review of sort of the ups and downs of 2022 for you as a pro fighter, and then we'll jump into what 2023 looks like for you.
Well, the beginning of 2022 was rough. I was 0-1. So I knew I had to go get it done with Josh Armstrong, and I went in there, punch, kick, shoot, subbed him out with that Vaughn flu.
Mhm.
And then Devin Lozay was after that,
Yeah,
and I cut too much weight, and he
yeah.
ended up taking my back and choking me out. It was a good fight before that. Like we were having fun throwing. Thought I was picking him apart on the feet. There was a few positions in that fight that I could have like really capitalized on that I didn't. So it ended up going his way. But I learned a lot that fight. I learned a lot that I need to fight at a higher weight class, that I'm not gonna get tired in the fight again. That's unacceptable. And I appreciate that loss. Like I learned a lot from that loss. And then I came out, what was that, in October, and fought Rico Talley, who was on a 3-fight win streak.
You just
And he
skipped
had me in.
over Ahmed. You just so you
Oh,
know.
dude, that was one of my favorite fights too. I didn't. Yeah, sorry. I fought. What was that? July.
That was July 9th. Yep.
Yeah, July 9th. I fought Ahmed, and I didn't know much about him. Um, I thought he was kind of a kickboxer type, so I went in there and
Yeah.
shot off rip, slammed him, and then tried to control him the whole fight and smash him. I really liked that. Was one of my favorite fights. I can't believe I forgot about it. That was one of my favorite fights because I actually got to like elbow and ground and
I
pound
was
and
gonna
like,
say you won by strikes, and I was cage side.
yeah,
It was a great fight, and yeah, he was known as a kickboxer from the research we do. That's what he was
yeah.
known as, and
And
to
I was
beat
like
him
trying to
like you did, yeah, that was
take him
great.
out of his element.
Yeah,
So, and then after that fight, I fought Rico Talley. He was on a 3-fight win streak,
yeah.
and I knew he was a back specialist. He was a grappling specialist, and I'm
Oh,
like, no matter what, I don't want this dude to take my back. In the first round, where do we end up? On my back, and
yeah.
it was tough. And I like, the weird thing was everyone in the red corner was losing that night. And he got my back, and I'm like, everyone else, I'm sitting there thinking like he had my back, and I'm defending the choke, and I'm like, everyone else lost. I could quit. And then I was like, hell no, my mom's watching this shit. I'm not letting her see me get choked out again. You know what I mean? So I just survived that and then put it on the rest of the fight. Turned it up. And
Yeah,
that was one fight I didn't get tired. Like that's just one thing I pushed through him and I broke him. And that's what I wanted to start doing to people was like, I know mentally I can break a lot of people. Like you're not willing to do what I'm willing to do.
And
So
that is very true. And I think having watched you now from your amateur, the end of your amateur career, all the way through your pro career, I will say that your Rico Tally fight seemed like that turning of the page. Obviously, the Ahmed fight was great because you got a stoppage win. But for people that don't know, you said that he was on a 3-fight win streak. He was training out of a huge super gym, Rufo Sport, and his power and his size plus his back take ability. I had watched all of his fights were out there. I know we both watched his fights. We broke them
yeah,
down. We were talking ahead of time. And it's not just that he takes people's backs, it's that he puts people in a full body triangle, like locks his legs fully, which really crushes the diaphragm, something that you showed a huge improvement because you were at a higher weight class and your training is second to none. And I know you trained with David Sachs and a bunch of other people on your strength conditioning. To be, for people that don't know, to be able to survive, I think you were in that about 2.5, 3 minutes to be able to survive something like that, to be able to survive a prolonged squeeze on your diaphragm and you stayed relaxed. You actually struck back. You stayed really calm. And you obviously avoided all of his rear naked chokes. How good did it feel? We talked a little bit on the mic at the end of that fight, but how good did it feel to get out of round one? Because you went through his worst. You got through his worst in round one.
yeah, it felt good. And then I got up and I wasn't like tired, and I was like thinking it's my turn to give it to him now. Like he's gonna feel my pressure and my strikes and all that stuff. And sorry, my cat was trying to jump up on the table and see what's up. I got a cat now too.
Well, introduce the cat. The cat's new. We've seen Buddy before. What do
Here, I'll
we have?
grab him.
This is becoming a full
The
pet
buddy's
show.
gonna come up when I grab the cat. Yeah, I got this. I bought it and it was like the size of a potato, and now he's all big and he's bad. He's worse than my dog. I got a guard cat. I don't have a guard dog.
Well,
But
by definition, cats are worse than dogs. But go
yeah,
ahead.
he's vicious, dude. He'll come up and attack you and stuff. But his name's Smokey Dude.
Mm.
But yeah, I after the first round, I was like still energized, and Isaac was talking to me in the corner and just telling me, he said, no one can take you down anymore. No one can take you down. And I had in my mind that he's not taking me down. And if he does, I'm getting back up and you got hell to pay. Like, so, and we were drilling back takes and I was getting not comfortable, but I was either trying to get out of back escapes or survive back attacks the whole camp. So we were kind of already in that situation. It was in my mind that I'm not getting finished there. And then there was one part in the cage where I hit him with a knee, and you can kind of feel people's energy in there. And I felt him like loosen up a little bit. And that's when I was like, this fight's mine. Like I'm going to put it on him now. Cause you can break people. Like you can feel it. It's weird. It's like a weird energy exchange.
And really a huge congratulations to you and your team, because you obviously lost that first round because he was on your back the whole time, but you came out, and I would say we know from the recent UFC fight with Volkanovski that no decisions guaranteed, but it was very clear cut that you had won round 2 and 3, and for having that tough of a first round where you weren't hurt. I mean, you didn't get hurt. It was just a lot of control time. I think that's even better of a testament. Like you talk about winning the right way. You survived his absolute best. He had finished 3 guys that way, 3 good pros that way. And to take him at his best of what he has to offer, survive it. And then there was really no doubt about it after that. So that is really, really an impressive thing. So that was October. So now we're into 2023, and I looked back, you have fought quite a few times because April 15th is going to be your 4th pro fight in exactly 364 days, which I'm sure I'll try to remember for the announcement.
Yeah.
So hopefully I get that right. So staying busy, 4 pro fights in exactly a year because your fight to Devin was April 16th. And so you'll have 4 full fights. within a year. You'll start off 2023. What's it like for you now that you've had a few months after October to really be up and running coming into 2023?
I was trying to fight in December, and the fight ended up falling through.
Wow,
I was trying to make it 5 in a year. You know what I mean? Trying to
sure.
stay busy. I actually had to get like a little job, because I didn't fight, because that's kind of where my money comes from. And I've been working in training now, and I'm just ready to get back to full time. Like, I'm taking two months off to put the camp together,
Wow.
and I'm looking forward to like training full time and fighting. So hopefully I can just do that. You know what I mean? Like, I want that to be my job.
Well, that's a great life update because I was actually going to ask because for people that don't know, a lot of well, pretty much all amateurs and most of your pros that are maybe kind of right where you are, around 5, 6 fights in, is maybe where you're at, is maybe where a pro fighter can start to go full-time pro. So that's super exciting. It's also fun to hear that you're looking forward to 2 months of hard training when building up
Yeah.
to a fight, because for people who don't know, that's a ton of work you're going to be putting in. But what's nice about being able to be full-time? I know there was a few fights before where you were full-time before you had to
Yeah.
get some work. So what's the difference in mindset when you're doing that?
When you're full time, you don't have to worry about anything else. It's train in the morning, go home, eat, take a nap, train at night. You know what I mean? If you need another workout in after that, you'll work out again, and you don't have to worry about answering any. Oh, well, you're answering to your coaches, obviously, but not answering to a boss. You don't have to worry about waking up early to go. You wake up early and do what you want to do. Train hard, because you have the I call it the impending doom that someone's outworking you or someone's training harder than you or this dude's waking up early to kick my ass, you know what I mean? So it's like the impending doom of it coming that this dude might, so that's what should push people, you know what I mean? But some people, they don't.
Well, that's that internal drive that you have to have. It's super exciting. You are going into your sixth professional fight. You have a 3-2 record. We kind of talked about that Rico Tally fight being really the not only the turn in your career because he was on a three fight tear, was real dominant in his fights in the first round, but also you were exactly tied 2-2 in your pro career. So actually, as far as your record goes, it was also that turn in the right direction, which is just super exciting. Specifically about Derek Patterson, what are your thoughts on him? You're coming in. Obviously, you want to get back to training full time. I know you're super excited to be you have a huge fan base. There's so much to say about you. I know we talk a lot. I think you've been on this show quite a bit. So what are your thoughts on Derek Patterson coming into this fight for April 15th
Um,
for on the Burgh 16th?
he's tall. Like
Ooh,
he's like 6'1", I think.
no way.
That's what so we're gonna mix it up with him a little bit and then see how it goes from there. I'm
Wow.
not guaranteeing anything that I'm gonna do
Sure.
besides implement my best game and put him in bad spots and make him pay for it.
Yeah.
It's basically what implement my will, and break him. Like that's all. I'm gonna see how far he's willing to go.
I mean, that is perfect. There's a lot going on. I just looked up his official height is 6 feet 2 inches. So you're right. His last fight was at 155. So he's coming down to 145. So there's a lot going on his side, I'm sure. But also for you, your last official weigh in, I know we've talked on this show. You were fighting at 35. It ended up not being a sustainable weight for you. 45 has been better, but your last official weight against Rico was like 142 and a half. Are you
Yeah.
are you looking to kind of hit closer to 45 and being a little bit more full because you still have some more that you can put on at 45?
Oh yeah. I thought 140 was gonna be easy to make, and then I started cutting in it.
Right.
I was still dry and sucked out, and anyone knows. And you can ask any fighter if they see me at weigh-ins making 35 or even 40. I looked rough. Like I looked sucked out. Even people were commenting. Rico Tally posted about the fight, and all his people were commenting, "He looks emaciated. You're gonna handle him, yada yada yada." And like, wait till you see me the next day and I drink all this water. You know what I mean? I drink all this water and I eat a couple meals. I'm big then. But I think 45 will be a way easier cut. I'll feel a lot better,
Okay.
and I won't feel as dragged out.
That's right. Your last two fights were at the 40 catch weight. I'm remembering that now.
Mhm.
So I think it's great. So you've stepped yourself back up and now you're going to be fully. So this will be your first fight fully at 45. I've asked your opponent to come on the show like I do. I try to ask everybody to come on the show right now. Haven't heard back from him. So I hope he can come on the show because I'd love to talk to him. I always try to talk to as many fighters on both sides as possible because it gives more people excited to watch the fights, which then helps you and helps everybody. But it'll be interesting to kind of see. You've been at a point at 35 where the battle with the scale was very real.
Yeah,
I've witnessed you making weight, which of course you always did. It'll be interesting at your opponent at 6'2", going from 55 to 45 for the first time. He might have a battle on his hands, kind of like you've had before. Super, super exciting. I know you fought at the Meadows Casino before. What's that environment like? Both environments are great. For people that don't know, 247 has a lot of fights at the Monroeville Convention Center, which is huge and big and beautiful. And I think a lot of people like fighting there. But there's something a little bit more close and loud and a little bit more tight and just like a little bit more energy at the casino. Did you feel that when you fought there in July?
oh
What's that
yeah.
environment like?
It's like such a small
Yeah.
dome that you can hear everything and everyone screaming, and it's it's intense. Like when after I stopped Nazim and hopped the cage and just seeing all my people, it was crazy. Because it's like with Monroeville, you can see your people,
Mhm.
but they're kind of spread out. But like at the Meadows, they're real close together, so you can just see everyone going crazy, and it's insane. I love my fans. I love my family, my fans, and everyone I train with that comes out to support me. It's nuts. Like that energy that you get from them is insane.
It really is. That's why I start off the interview. It might have sounded strange, but I started off the interview asking about your shirts because you, as an announcer, I can always know where your people are. One, because the Mat Factory always brings in a lot of people. There'll be a lot of Mat Factory, but your shirts in particular, I think you've had a bright pink one, you've had an
Mhm.
olive green one, really great graphics. And what's really cool is you'll have like the Patton Army or the General Army or whatever. So it's always exciting. That's why I asked about the shirts because I will always say it, to be able to have a fan group there to cheer you on makes the fight more exciting and makes you a little bit more engaged because you've got that crowd there. In
Yeah.
your mind, you've talked about mentally you're gonna break him mentally, that nobody's tougher. That I think you said, yeah, you're gonna break him. It's kind of a Drago expression. I will break you, right? But also that you're mentally tough. Nobody trains harder than you. All that stuff. What's kind of like your ideal outcome? You mentioned about Ahmed being able to finish a guy with strikes. You don't have to do a prediction if you don't want to, but what would you kind of dream up if it went sort of perfect, which no fight does, but
I've been telling Carly, she actually said this about me. Every fight for some reason I punch, I kick, I shoot. Like I punch, I kick, and then I shoot. Maybe it won't go that way this time. Maybe we'll mix it up a little more. But and I keep telling her, what's Khabib say? I will smash your boy. That's how I keep telling her. Your boy, I will smash your boy. But I don't know. Like in in a perfect world, um, we smash them. Like it's smash. Like that's just all there is to it. Perfect world, smashed. Land elbows, good ground and pound, smashed.
I
But
love it. I love it. And you've put, for anybody that's listening, that's just getting to know the general now, you've put the work in to be able to say these things, just like you said, Habib and some of the other people you've referenced. That's where all the hard work and training, you've mentioned your coach. If I remember right, you fought on the night, I think that Coach Isaac really was the first ever 247 fighter Hall of Fame inductee. I might be wrong.
Was that October?
I think it was
I think it was
October.
Rico Tally. Yeah.
I think it was the Rico. Yeah, I think it was the Rico Tally fight. So what is
Yeah.
it? What does it mean to you? You already mentioned some of the stuff he tells you in the corner. The Mad Factory is a legendary training. You're one of their main fighters. You've obviously really shown them well. But what's it like being trained by coaches that are very well known? I mean, you've got some
That's
really
I can't even like describe like the coaches like Isaac's a different human being. Like I tell him all the time, like I think you're like a superhuman. Like I don't understand how you do the things you do. He was telling us a story that he didn't even really mean to tell us about it, but he got home on a red eye, went and trained in the morning, right off the red eye, went to work all day, came back and trained, didn't even go home that day yet, and then went home. He's like, my wife's gonna be mad at me. I'm like, dude, you're on another level. Like it's just he's something different. And then like Chris Dempsey, Matt Schaefer, they're both amazing people and like always teaching me stuff, and they understand like they'll be going over something in class for grappling specific, but they'll make it um MMA like applicable, you know what I mean? So that way I can still do the drill that they're drilling, but it's for me to get to a position where I can smash someone or I can punch them, I can elbow them, I can make
sure,
them, quit. And it like as far as my coaches, like Dave Sachs, Chris Williams, like they're all just amazing people. I talk to them every day and they're just one of a kind. It's crazy when you have coaches that actually like care and are there for you. You know, it changes how I don't want to disappoint them. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's also great because you went through your pro career with us real quick and recap at the beginning. It's also great that you've got the type of coaches in your corner that when the going got a little rough, things weren't exactly going your way early in your pro career, although you had so much potential and that obviously they stayed in your corner, both physically in your corner during fights, but also in between and motivating you and coaching you. And so that really is, there's a lot of special gyms in the area. I'm always honored to kind of see what the local Western Pennsylvania gyms produce, but the Mat Factory is way up there and
Hmm.
super exciting. And I know Ryan Middleton, the owner of 247, was absolutely thrilled to induct your coach, and incredible BJJ black belt, one of the best black belts, had won a black belt tournament like just recently. I
Worlds,
think
yeah,
right,
worlds,
Worlds. That's right. Yeah, not
yeah,
just Worlds.
yeah, not just yeah, worlds.
Yeah, Worlds. And Dempsey's out there all the time doing pro BJJ like matches. I know he's got another one coming up. So, like you said, I think for people that can appreciate what goes into training MMA, your gym is training all of MMA. But then when you break MMA down, there's the wrestling focus, there's the jiu-jitsu focus, where a lot of the fighters out of your gym, that's what they do. That's their worlds or their nationals. But then obviously for you in MMA, you're putting elbows together, you're putting everything together. Um, it's super exciting. So I guess we'll get to anything more you want to say. I feel like you've already said some incredible quotes. The "I will smash you," "me smash you," whatever you said is great. And you really do put all this together. I'm looking forward to seeing you fight at 45 because 45 is an actual featherweight. The 40s were a catch weight to help you get there.
Yeah,
So this is going to be a great fight to see what you do at a pro featherweight, like a full pro featherweight. It's really going to be exciting. And also going from Rico Tally, who was at least a few inches shorter than you, and kind of the Matt Sarah type, like the short, thick, real strong. And
yeah.
now you're going to a guy that's almost like the Cowboy Cerrone, like real tall, uh, lanky,
Hmm.
and that's your style as well. Do you think it's kind of in a way good for you early in your pro career to go from the short, thick kind of power guy to the tall, rangy? I mean, you're giving yourself all these different looks early.
Yeah, I think it's good to get a different looks. I think this dude's southpaw too, so get
Oh,
me ready for future opponents. Um, but Yeah, get me ready for future opponents, I think, and he's a little bit taller, so that'll be good too. Get to go in there and mix it up with him and see what he got.
Well, I appreciate your time. As a reminder for everybody watching this, if you can make it out, it's going to be incredible. The tickets will probably sell out. So get your tickets from anybody at the Mat Factory or directly from Justin, the General Patton himself. Those tickets go a long way to helping, particularly Justin's goal of being full-time pro fighter. That's going to make a big difference in his life. So reach out to him. It's an absolute honor. I love having somebody on multiple times to kind of build up the opportunity to kind of track your career. So thanks so much for coming on. It's going to get here faster than people think. April 15th, Brawl in the Burgh 16. You can get more information through 247fighting.com. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Sweet. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
You got it, pal. Take care.
Later.